Hi, Dr. Wood, author of the book Miracles in Minutes. Today I'm going to go over a subject called an apology. So, what I stand for in this life is to help people have better relationships. The first book, Miracles in Minutes, about how to have a better relationship with yourself and understand yourself when your body's having pain. And don't ignore the message or cover it up, but learn how to deal with it and then get to where you want to be I want to feel great again. Okay. So in all human relations, at some point in time, we're going to have a disagreement, and we're all going to hurt each other. It's just the way it is. I mean, brothers and sisters love each other. They say hurtful things, but hopefully, as they start to grow up and mature, they learn to have a more authentic conversation. They start to get control of themselves. Now, in an intimate relationship, or even a close friendship, that's another intimate relationship, not just intimate partners. There are going to be times when we harm or hurt or inconsiderate of another human being. So most of the things we're going to argue over is when we are self-centered, we are only thinking about ourselves, our own needs. We are not being empathic and thinking about someone else's needs. But we still also need boundaries for ourselves and not denude our own selves of authentic or true self-love, but not a selfish self-love. So anyway, let's suppose something happens and there has been a harm or foul, and there's a break in the relationship. You'll know it from people don't talk to each other anymore. Now, what we need to do is as soon as possible is to put out this fire, if possible. Not unless there's severe anger involved, then there might be a need a cooling off phase. But if it's a little impasse or something that's kind of going on, is we will first want to go, we want to move into, huh, I, um, let's use something simple. I was supposed to be there at 1 o'clock to meet you, and I didn't make it today. Okay, that's fine. But if it starts to happen all the time, one can either say this is just how that person is. I can still operate in that context, just add 20 minutes. But if it's someone who doesn't show, they're very inconsistent, they're not being empathic and saying, hey, I agreed to meet you at 1. I'm here. You're not here. And this seems to be a pattern with this person, and or they don't show or they don't call. And this happens quite a bit. And they have a great reason or excuse of why they couldn't make it. But it's always about them. In this relationship, the other person is not being, considerate of someone else. Like, I have a life too, not just about your life and what time you're going to be. And I know you got all these problems, but, don't try to arrange something with me. If they just say, I'm sorry, I was late, okay, let's just move on. We can do that, but it's covering up deep down inside. This relationship's not going anywhere. It should be something like this. I was late. I've been late 4 times in a row. I was being inconsiderate, and I am only thinking about myself. I didn't think about what you had to do to make it here on time. I was only thinking about all the things I have going on. That's not who I am. I am a compassionate person. I am a person who thinks about others and not just about myself. You can count on me from here on out of being on time, or if something does come up, I will be in conversation with you and call you and let you know my ETA, estimate time of arrival. Or I'll let you know that something came up and I had to cancel. But this will not be my norm. You can start to count on me of keeping my commitments that I make to you. And that's it. So what happens is you take ownership for what has occurred. Recognize the fact that usually we're being selfish is usually what it is. We're being a little narcissistic, from our childhood. We're not considering the other person. We're not showing empathy. As we started, and you also, if you don't declare who you're going to be, I'm not that person. I'm not this inconsiderate person. I'm not a person who lacks integrity and doesn't keep my word. I am a person who keeps my word. So as they say it, now the onus is on the person to live up to their word. And let's suppose I was the one who was offended. You keep missing my appointments. Now the onus is on you to live up to your word and be responsible for that like a mature adult. So, and I can watch that. Now, at this point, I can either let you in my life or not, but the responsibility is on you to live up to. Or if I was the fouler, then it's my responsibility to live up to that. So this is how we start to create better relationships between each other. Usually, what we fight over is who's right and who's wrong. It's an either or. And either or always uses sentence structure has a but, and but divides people. So it's how can we have an and? Let's connect. And brings things together, people and words and sentence structure. How do we bring together, put a commitment in there, and then live up to it? So I hope this helps you out. It's Dr. Wood, author of the book Miracles in Minutes.